Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
Well, once you hit double to par, it's time to just pick up and move on. Frank, a fifth consecutive par 4 here at the U.S. Open. This is the 14th hole, and I'm guessing by the time you set foot on this tee, you'll know exactly where your game is at.
Oh, this one here, great reward for someone that's driving the ball well. If you can drive it, down the left middle, avoid that little one-pot bunker in the middle of the fairway, you're going to certainly shorten this hole up. And then you can start to use the contours of this hole too, that bend right to left. And 546 yards becomes much shorter than what you would think.
I mean, he just blasted it down the fairway, well over 325 yards. This, the second shot here at the par 4. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Not quite enough on that one, couple of feet short.
Yeah, hopefully he taps it in. Not his best, but hopefully it's just 2 putts.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Oh, I thought he had that. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a couple of feet. Been a rocky round. At last, Frank, a break from those long par 4s. We just played 5 par 4s in a row. Now the par 3 15th.
And also, as you can see in the distance, you can actually see a tree, one of the few that are on the golf course. Hence the name of 15. It's called Lone Fir. Not overly long, just a little short hole. But in the U.S. Open, obviously they can play it at around 250 yards. It's just a fun par 3. But check where that flag is, because sometimes 3 is a good score here. But an easy flag position, and then go straight at it.
Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. Great professionals, Frank, they don't fear the greenside bunker shot, do they?
No, because you can be as aggressive or as conservative as you want. You actually have far more options. And you don't have to hit the ball first.
No way! He hold it, Frank.
Great pitch shot. Yeah, so often we say the third round, Saturday's moving day. That doesn't always mean you move in a positive direction.
EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live final round coverage of the 115th U.S. Open Championship. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo here to call the action for EA Sports at the U.S. Open Championship. We are at Chambers Bay in University Place, Washington. And Frank, this does not look like any U.S. Open golf course that I have seen.
No, it's quickly getting the respect of many of the golf pundits and writers out there as just this wonderful blend of links and parkland-style golf. It presents so beautifully to the eye, but also it challenges every aspect of your game. And really, you couldn't want for anything more than that when you were going to play a major championship.
Designed by Robert Trent Jones II with breathtaking views of the Puget Sound as well as the Olympic Mountains. Boy, this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, what's so compelling about rivalries in sports is that athletes need each other if they're going to go to great heights. Joe Frazier needed Muhammad Ali to solidify his legend. Jack Nicklaus probably needed Arnold Palmer to go to a place that he had not been. And I think that's true across the board as we look at rivalries in sports.
I think it defines careers, Rich. It's not until those players retire that they realised how important it was to have that foe. You know, so often we're living in the present like we are now with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. And it's not for years to come that we'll realise the sport wouldn't have been the same with one without the other.
Frankie's going for 2 birdies in a row.
If he can knock this one in, then that's certainly going to help the confidence.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole. Even par, currently.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. Stepping up to the tee here at the 11th, Frank.
It looks straightforward. You see a big dune in the middle of the fairway. You can really take that out of play. Get it down there as far as you can. You're going to need to. And then from there on in, it's really just trying to find out exactly where you want to land that second shot so that you can get it on the right level.
They'll be happy with that. In the fairway, now a good chance to attack this hole.
Well, it's going to take a good one here considering what they've already gone through, Rich. Right now, that green is going to look very small, so it's going to take a good shot here to give himself an opportunity.
Some really poor play to this point.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Didn't check, Frank.
Yeah, just not enough spin on that, really. I mean, that almost like took that first bounce and just ricocheted forward.
These are the kind of putts that keep a round going about 10 feet away for par. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
These putts keep the round together. Not this time. Frank, how do you explain what we saw here?
It's a mess. It's probably the easiest way to put it. This is a case of anything that could go wrong. Not just probably, it did.
Frank, that is position A.
Yeah, the tee shot was like silk, Rich. I mean, just sets up that second shot so beautifully.
Second shot, good look at the green. And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday. He'll do better this time, it looks like. Looks like he just misread that. Now this putt from 23 feet. Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Going to tap out on this hole for the week for another bogey on this hole. Ooh, that hurts. Misses the putt here, has to try again and add another stroke to the scorecard. Getting set now over the putt. Too bad. 2 drop shots right there with a double bogey. Coming down the stretch here at the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay, just 6 holes to play, and Frank, this par 4 13th will really test the players.
It is. If someone makes 3 here down the stretch, it will be monumental. A 4 here, no one would leave this hole unhappy.
Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole.
Second shot.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Not terrible, but not his best.
Outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Wow, I didn't expect that. Must make this for a double bogey. Seems to really have the touch today. Frank, a fifth consecutive par 4 here at the U.S. Open. This is the 14th hole, and I'm guessing by the time you set foot on this tee, you'll know exactly where your game is at.
Oh, this one here, great reward for someone that's driving the ball well. If you can drive it, down the left middle, avoid that little one-pot bunker in the middle of the fairway, you're going to certainly shorten this hole up. And then you can start to use the contours of this hole too, that bend right to left. And 546 yards becomes much shorter than what you would think.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Well, that's what the great ones do. From the rough, they use their skill and their strength to get it out and get it close. Locked in on the read and the speed. Well, at last, a birdie. Now to the 15th hole here at Chambers Bay and the U.S. Open. It stands out, at least to the eye, because it has the only tree on the golf course.
That's right. That's why it's called Lone Fir, this hole. And especially when they played off that short tee in the U.S. Open, 167 yards to the middle of the green. This is certainly a chance for a birdie coming in. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Now this for birdie. Went away with a bogey on the previous round. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Bogey here yesterday, chance to better that today. Frank, you hear it so often. This is a game of dealing with your miscues.
That's the beauty of this game of golf. It giveth and it taketh away. That was cruel. It looked like it was certainly going in.
Boy, those will knock the wind out of your sails. Double bogey. Now to the par 4, 423 yards, 16th hole. What's the right play, Frank?
Fairway first. Once again, you'll see the slope of the fairway from the left to the right side. It means move your aim down that left side. It'll make this fairway appear that much bigger. And of course, then when you hit into this green, you're really going to have to flight that second shot properly. This is like a tabletop green. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, 315 yards. Frank, what's the danger here on the approach to the 16th, considering the green is really pretty small?
Well, obviously it's a short par 4, so you know that the problem's going to happen up ahead, and that's exactly what it does. This is probably one of the smallest, narrowest greens at Chambers Bay, and you can see it slopes dramatically from left to right. That has to be taken into consideration with the second shot.
Trying to make yet another birdie. That's good work right there. Just a tap in. And getting ready for the putt. Just hammered that par putt, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he was thinking or what was going through his mind right there, but he better wake up in a hurry, because if this one doesn't go in, that score's going to rack up very quickly.
This to avoid a huge number. This is for bogey. Everything has gone wrong today. Just continues to be ugly. Pressure's beginning to rise here. 17th hole of the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay. And this one, Frank, the par 3, will require a really good shot.
It's amazing how many U.S. Opens have great 17th hole. I think of Winged Foot, par 3, 17th, even Merion, par 3. This one will certainly fit in the same vein. It's named Derailed, and it will derail many a player trying to win a U.S. Open.
Not too bad, about 25 feet away. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy.
How did that not go in?
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Just a couple of feet. Been a little too much of that, Frank. Just sort of ho-hum pars. Now to the 18th hole. Frank, everyone wants to finish in style.
Yeah, the home hole here, once again you head back to just a wonderful view, and you realise that Chambers Bay was designed as a walk-in golf course, and it was designed to have fun and test every department of your game. 18 will do that. it probably gives you more trouble on both sides of the hole than any other hole on the golf course.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Playing his second shot here at the par 5. Frank, you want to finish with one good swing here, the approach shot to the 18th hole.
I don't think there's a flat putt on this green, Rich. There's so many different sections. We said the course was like a maze. This 18th green can be like a maze. If you're on the right portion, then obviously that certainly helps. But there's so many different levels to this green.
Man,
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. That's a solid par putt. Frank, it was a great setting with great crowds. We saw plenty of very good golf. Your thoughts?
I think the course really extracted some of the golf that we saw. It forced these players to play just some great golf. And it wasn't just like a pitch and a putt golf course. So I think seeing the guys tested, seeing the players tested at this level, it was a treat.